We're not dead, guys! Sorry about the wait. Yeah, it's been a hot minute, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And by hot minute, I mean, nearly 2 months since we've uploaded anything regarding YouTube, Twitch, or really anything online in general.
Mm-hmm.
So on that note, guys, we can only apologize and say, hey, welcome again to another Lightless update, news video, or general talky talk, or however you want to say it. I don't bloody know. It's been a while. We're rusty. This has been a long time coming. So let us cut to the chase and let's explain where we've been and what we've been up to. Essentially, 3 weeks ago, give or take, we got invited to an impromptu holiday, I suppose you could say, in which we had literally no connection to the internet, at least a reliable sense of internet. And wouldn't you know it, just as soon as we go on a holiday, quote unquote, we get bombasted with a lot of Xenoblade Rumours, a lot of talk, and a lot of speculation. We had no way to make content or even talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Because
I was really worried we were gonna get like a Nintendo Direct drop and like, oh, no Xenoblade, but we're not here to talk about it.
no. I mean, at most, you could always say we missed a Pokemon Direct, but I know that's not really the biggest thing going on in the world. But yep, overall, we've missed doing YouTube, and you know what? We've missed interacting with you guys, whether it be on YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, or whatever else. So we apologize for the long run, and also, ever since we've come back from our holiday, our sleep schedules have kind of been changed. Probably for the better, sometimes not. But we are gonna try and do more content in the future, so hopefully we'll be able to get back into a sort of norm, so to speak.
Yeah, because we go to bed and wake up early like normal people now.
Yeah, we no longer go to bed like 4 or 5 in the morning. Good for sleep, bad for streaming time. So just to summarize it all in quick 30 seconds. Yep, impromptu time off. We want to do more content, but streaming and YouTube times are gonna have to be changed a little bit. But you know, when that comes to it, we'll adjust and make updates when we need to.
And work's been hectic, so it's hard to work around that as well.
Indeed. But now let us cut to the chase and let us talk about the main reason why we have come back to YouTube now and decided to talk about things. And of course, it is the aforementioned Xenoblade rumours, speculations, or little tidbits of information or cryptic things here and there. So let's begin. Now, what did spark all of this off in some way, shape, or form? I'd like to think it's, would I be correct in saying it was Karina Reeves's... No, not Karina Reeves, it was Jenna Coleman's tweets, wasn't it? Or online activity, wasn't it?
To be honest, I hadn't been on Twitter during that time, so I the only thing I know of is Karina Reeves because I follow her on Instagram.
Well, basically, Jenna Coleman, aka Melia's voice actor, posted something online, and I can't remember if it was Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, or what of the other social aspects that I don't use. She mentioned something about her doing some voice work, and she guessed it might have been Xenoblade. Because keep in mind, for those people who don't know how voice acting works, sometimes voice actors get contacted for a role because they are the desired choice for a role. And sometimes voice actors apply for a role. But however, when a company, they reach out to a voice actor and they say, here, we got a video game role, come to the studio and we'll take care of things there. Sometimes a voice actor can do lines or various dialogues, and they aren't actually told what the role is for. I mean, one of the prime examples that I can think of this happening is a recent one. Ferdinand's voice actor in Fire Emblem. He got treated the exact same way. Nintendo or Intelligent Systems called him up, and then he did the work, and then he got told it was for the new Fire Emblem game, that being Three Houses. And of course, afterwards, they all sign NDAs and whatnot, so they have to keep hush-hush on that thing. They can't say the game by name. They can still be cryptic about it. I mean, if you want to go for Xenoblade examples, one thing, Adam Howden, he can claim that he did voice acting work, that being for Future Connected. He didn't say the game outright, but said, you know what, I've done video game work. And that leads into another tidbit of speculation, which is the aforementioned Karina Reeves post on Instagram. And we do have it here, and this is one of the reasons why I doubt the main overall thing is going to be about Xenoblade 3. And it reads, and I'm going to say this verbatim, this is her on Instagram, and I quote, "Back in the studio, a new one for me, rapping and singing as a video game character. Watch this space." And of course, at the voice acting studio, and you know, just not normal hashtags for a voice actor. Unless Xenoblade is going on a rhythm game or a Friday Night Funkin' vibe, I don't think we're gonna see Fiora breakdance and do rap battles with anyone.
Yeah, I mentioned that on Twitter. It's like, unless Fiora starts dropping beats, I think that's just that's for something else.
I shall take on Egil in a rap battle, yo. Yeah, so straight away, massive speculation on that one. So, of course, I don't think Karina Reeves is doing a Xenoblade free role. And with Jenna Coleman, she thinks she could do a video game voice acting role, and it could be familiar. But again, though, let's focus on a Jenna Coleman as a person straight off. Much like a lot of the cast for the first Xenoblade game, whether it's Jay Taylor, Ryan's voice actor, whether it's Rufus Jones, Dunban's voice actor, Jenna Coleman herself is not really known to doing voice work. A lot of the cast for Xenoblade 1 was brought in because of their theatre background, or just their voices in general just matched up well. With that said, it could be possible that Jenna Coleman got asked to be brought in and do a few generic lines, and maybe there's Xenoblade, because let's face it, when it comes to video games, Jenna Coleman's biggest role is Melia.
Mm-hmm.
At least in terms like JRPGs and whatnot. And if she thinks it's Xenoblade 3, one, if she thinks it is, because let's just say Xenoblade, no matter whether it's a spin-off or whatnot, Xenoblade is going to be a big game, no matter what it is. If you cannot get a firm idea that, yes, I just did a voice role for a Xenoblade game, then it's probably going to be a small game.
Yeah, for all we know, she could have done lines for X2 from Cross again.
Yeah, and also, if it was for Xenoblade, I can imagine Monolith Nintendo would not be happy with any of the voice actors possibly putting in Xenoblade 3, or any reference to Xenoblade in whatever online tweet they do. Because, just so you guys know, that same post by Jenna Coleman, that's still up. If it was anything to do with Xenoblade 3, it would be taken down, otherwise she would be in violation of the non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. It's like, her saying it was about Xenoblade, wouldn't that kind of tickle the NDA a little bit?
Exactly, that's why a lot of voice actors will never say, hey, I'm doing this role for this exact game, spoiler alert. So, it's fine. And so, voice acting wise, because let's face it, if it is a video game role, it's not like every other. It's not like the cast has been asked to do other things. I mean, like take Adam Howden, Shulk's voice actor. She's done other work outside of Xenoblade, Skyrim for one, which is amazing. It's almost as big a surprise as Mario's voice actor being in that game, and he voices a goddamn dragon. Yeah, because that totally fits. But I digress, though. So now let's switch over to from voice actors, and let's go on to composing work. And two of the biggest names that can come to mind when you think Xenoblade is Ace and Mitsuda. Now, for those who don't know who Ace and Mitsuda are, Ace, they are very well known for their work on Xenoblade. They were a heavy part of the first game, as well as 2. X was kind of a spin-off-ish, and that was handled by a different composer entirely, which we'll talk about at a later date because it's bound to come up. And if you want to talk Xenoblade or Xeno in general, Mitsuda, this guy has worked on many freaking animes and many video games. Just going on bios, Chrono Trigger, Chrono Cross, Xenogears, Xenosaga, and many of the Final Fantasy games, and most notably for recent ones is episode Ignis 415. But I digress. Now, why am I bringing these things up? Is because along with the voice acting tweets in which you've seen recently, both Ace and Mitsuda have posted non-stop on their various social medias about, hey, back in the studio, recording a lot of orchestral work and whatnot. And even then, there was a tweet a few months back, possibly up to a year, on Mitsuda's official website. He posted just a room full of sheet music. And some of the aspects were blurred, and that got people thinking, oh, you know what, it must be a Xenoblade game because it's Mitsuda. Now, one thing to debunk right now, Mitsuda, he is a busy man. Like I said before, he does a lot of work for a lot of media. So just seeing sheet music, it could be for an anime, it could be for a show, it could be for another video game, or for an album. You never know. Yeah,
because I think Kingdom Hearts was like a big thing, and I think that might have been what it was.
Possibly. And let's talk Ace. Now, an Ace, it's a big dive in. But there is one thing I want to point out. With Ace, most of their tweets have been, them being in the studio and doing a lot of mixing. Now, if they are not afraid of posting them working on music, how come most of the tweets are about mixing? Well, the answer to that is because most of the music in a timeline is already pre-made. Now, what do I mean by that? For those who have kept a sharp eye on Smash Brothers, for every, I want to say nearly every single DLC fighter that's come from Smash, Ace has had a part in doing that music. Of course, they had a hand in Pyra Mithra's remixes. They also did things for Joker, Persona 5. They did some things for Fire Emblem. And they've even done work in Tekken as well, the most recent addition to Smash Brothers. So, you could think, well, possibly their tweets or their hints could be, they're mixing existing tracks, or possibly remixing the final addition to Smash Bros. Because keep in mind, that's got a lot of hype behind it. There is a myriad of reasons as to why you could see composers mixing and just taking pictures of performances. It's common for every single composer to do that, but also I want to keep in mind, and this is where I think a lot of people might be getting the wrong idea. With all of these things coming up to light in social media recently, everyone must be thinking, oh my god, that must mean Xenoblade is, it's nigh, it's very soon because posts are coming out and whatnot. I'm pretty sure everyone who is listening knows how game development goes. Normally, the music is pretty much in set and done already. Mm-hmm. If a game is being close to getting done. By the time that music gets worked on, it's when environments are pretty much have already been established, or or some composers like Jun Tsunoi of Sonic the Hedgehog, he just gets concept art of what levels would look like and get little notes of, this one would be a jumpy track, this one would be a dark track, this one would be a tense track.
Yeah, because I got like the Torna music box thing. It came with a digital booklet, and like it talked about how like the directors would tell the composers, hey, you should write a song that's kind of somber but has a little bit of a beat to it. It talks about each area in Torna having a certain feel to it, and they want the composers to replicate it.
Yeah, and this might all be without any concept art being made. The thing is, video game development is never one straight track and it goes the exact same way. Sometimes concept art is made before music, and sometimes the other way around. Sometimes the script isn't even done before music is done, and etc, etc. Everything could be changed and rearranged. And I think one final thing that I think is not really being overlooked, because how can it be, but one thing that is being forgotten. With everyone, how should I talk about this? Because this is a very sensitive subject, and let's just say the past 18 months have sucked for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
For everyone. What have people not been able to do? Go into buildings and just interact with other people in close range and, have one-to-one communication with each other. A lot of people have not been able to do that for obvious reasons.
Mm-hmm.
But now, restrictions in various countries are starting to be lifted, and it's becoming more possible to have those big groups of people doing orchestral work or mixing or being in studios with each other. And of course, as everyone is doing, because rightfully so, because it's been such a goddamn long time, if someone is finally, after waiting for so long, being able to go out and do their job and interact with other people, in this modern day, why wouldn't you want to take photos and celebrate that fact?
Mm-hmm.
Whether it's composers, voice actors, or, just like a general orchestra, of course you would want to. And I feel like it's just all of this coming from key people related to Xenoblade that has possibly sparked this into a fanfare.
Mm-hmm.
And also, can I say, this kind of helps our point in this video, because we're about what, 2 or 3 weeks late to this, and there's been no fanfare or no follow-ups to any of this.
Mm-hmm.
From either other voice actors, Nintendo updates, or anything.
Mm-hmm.
If there was truth to this rumor, you'd think they'd save it for an event or something.
Yeah, a few things I would want to say is like Soya Saga, Takahashi's wife, I believe. I mentioned this in a video we planned on doing, but she made a tweet a while back, like year or 2 or 3 ago, that she didn't want her tweets to be misconstrued. She wanted to just tweet like a normal person, but people kept reading in between the lines like, oh, this is Xenoblade, oh, this is Xenoblade. She made a tweet about it. It's like, I want to be able to tweet normally without people assuming things.
It's almost like social media is a problem, because everyone wants to I don't know, get the scoop on things and think, yes, I'm smarter than everyone. I see through your cryptic tweets. I see your cryptic tweet about liking apples, and that must be a Xenoblade reference somehow.
To dance apples or something.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just a weird time. It's just a weird time to be living in. Because I think as we all know, or as we've seen throughout this entire year, both this year and last year, this whole entire event has hit gaming hard. Development has slowed down. It's had a lot of games being pushed back to next year or many years on. And something as big as Xenoblade, it's bound to have had an impact on it, even if it's like a simple port or a small game. It's like what would take a year to make could somehow take up 2 years, and so on and so forth.
Yeah, because like the definitive edition only came out last year, so I highly doubt there'll be any new Xenoblade things coming out for quite a while. And I also feel like with all the composers tweeting things, I actually hope that it's more about a physical release of the soundtrack than a new game right now.
Yeah, because I personally would want a physical edition of the definitive edition soundtrack because it's great.
And future connected with that Beyond the Sky remix at the end.
Remake, interesting. Yes, Nintendo or Ace or whoever, make it happen because god damn it, we love Xenoblade music. But I guess though, to your point in a sort of awkward segue, let's just summarize this entire video in, well, I guess let's end it in what are our opinions of this. I guess we've taken a while to debunk a lot of ideas and explain how video game development works, I guess. So let us summarize, and I think I'll go first if that would be okay. Okay. Voice actors and all that jazz, they are probably doing their own thing and celebrating being back in the studio and being able to, you know, do their own thing. Do I think Xenoblade 3 or something Xenoblade related is in the works and is being made? Yes. Of course. Duh. Is it gonna come soon? No. But do I feel like something is gonna happen at some point in the future? Yes. Xenoblade Chronicles is a successful franchise and it's one of Nintendo's heavy hitters as long as JRPGs are concerned. Is it going to be a spin-off? Is it going to be X2? Is it going to be Xenoblade 3? I don't know. But is it in the works? Yes. How long do I think it's going to take? I don't care because I can wait for as long as it needs to have, another Xenoblade game. I'm really a patient person. Honestly, I could wait, because for God's sake, we waited a long time for 2 or a follow-up. So, I'm fine. And I'm also the person who hopes that Jack and Daxter and Jester at Radio and Skies are arcade to get more games, but I could be a hopeful person. But, in summary, yes, it's gonna happen. Is it in the making? Yes. I think everyone knows a Xenoblade game is in the works. Just, what's the point in speculating? It comes when it comes. For example, the definitive edition, that caught us completely off guard. It wouldn't have the same effect as like, oh, it's gonna happen, it's gonna be Xenoblade now, it's gonna be now, okay now, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, that's my thought. It's coming at some point, so I don't care. If something does come up, yeah, sure, I'll talk about it and we'll analyze it like we always do. But, I'm just gonna keep waiting, and I'm just going to take every single tweet, cryptic hint, or whatever at face value and just put a bit of salt on there, because that's how you should do the entire internet. Not everything is fact.
That's what Abraham Lincoln famously said.
Ah, yes, of course. He said that. Well, anyway, that's my choice words. Alice, fair to you.
Yeah, I definitely think with the composers and the voice actors, like, with their tweets, they just want to tweet like normal people. They might have jobs, but like Cassandra Lee Morris, she tweets a lot of random stuff, as some people call it, shite posting. So just, I would also take those at face value as well, because I want to be surprised, because I want to relive the moment in which the definitive edition came out, how happy I was. I want to experience that again, so I don't want to be given hints or anything. I want to be unspoiled, so I want to be surprised by whatever comes.
Are you saying that you want voice actors and composers and whoever else to tweet like normal people? What a weird concept. On that note, guys, I don't think there's anything else to really talk about, really, unless you've got anything to add.
Not really. I mean, I guess people might ask not if, but when Xenoblade comes out, what's it gonna be? I'm hoping it's something X-related, but we'll just have to see.
I feel like logic would say, oh well, it's been X. X has had the longest absence, so of course that's the due one. But you never know. I'd like to think that maybe they're gonna give X another go, but who's to say? Again, I'm not really fussed. Xenoblade is Xenoblade, and there are video games in the meantime to keep us occupied.
Yeah.
And that's what you guys should do too. Whether you are free to go outside, or if you are unfortunately still locked up, you know what? There's still video games, and there's a lot of other things to enjoy.
The Switch has games.
Technically, the N64 has games, so you could pick anything. Everything has games in some way, shape, or form. So, guys, in the meantime, just relax, enjoy it. Just play games until something else catches your interest. But I guess on that note, because this has been long-winded and elaborate, and I will say though, it's good to be back.
Mm-hmm.
And is that all you got to say, I think?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, I think that's everything I've got to say. So, guys, what do you think about the future of Xenoblade and all of the hints and the speculation and everything that's gone by? Because I know it's been a while and we're probably a bit late to the news here, but honestly, I still love to hear your thoughts and see your comments. So if you would, please post it in the comments below, and if you want to, please like this video and whatnot. And for those who are new to the channel, whenever something Xenoblade news comes up, we will cover it, absolutely, because we love it. But until then, guys, thank you very much for listening. I know it has been much of a visual speculation or spectacle, but I digress. It's good to be back. Hopefully we will be able to do more YouTube content in future. Again, streaming might be a little bit different, so we'll have to decide on that. But until then, guys, thank you all for watching. Thank you all so much for your patience. We heavily appreciate it. But this is not dead. We have returned. It might be a while since we come back, but I digress. As always, I have been Lightning.
I'm Alice.
And we are Lightless, back from the not dead grave.
Back from Scotland.
Ooh, cryptic there. What have we been doing in Scotland?
Things.
Yeah. One of them involves ice cream.
And the ocean.
Bye.